When I first started, people used to think homelessness was the bastion of the old drunk alcoholic man.
I guess my perception, I'm embarrassed to say, was homeless people were people on park benches, living rough on the street.
Because of their addictions, or it's because they've chosen, you know, not to work.
Either through laziness or not dealing with difficult things very well.
Definitely, I've had that in my mind in earlier times, you know, as a child.
The media has a lot to answer for in terms of how they portray particularly our social housing tenants.
It's the kind of prejudice and ignorance that a lot of families are challenged by every day.
It's hard to move and move and move again.
I feel upset.
I had to get rid of half of what we owned.
You're old. Nobody wants you.
My kids would struggle having to lift furniture.
Domestic violence.
It was like a half of a house cut in half.
Can't go home, I've got nowhere to go.
My kids show them that I'm crying, that we are struggling. Yeah, we are struggling.
We pay the rent, but have no money to eat.
Just kept getting knocked back.
There's no choice really, nowhere else to go.
Just like nobody care.
I saw how they killed our family with my eyes.
I was out, finished, kaput.
If I can get my own accommodation, I can be happy more than happy.
I wanted to belong and say, this is my community.
I think it crosses every culture and gender that people want to feel a sense of belonging.
Being able to say, oh, this is my place, I belong here, or, you know, I have feet here, I have roots here, is something that everyone needs to be able to say.
It's a backbone of any man's dream.
Homelessness is quite traumatic. There's a loss of a sense of connection, loss of a sense of place. There's also a loss of a sense of who you are.
More and more people are exposed to homelessness that were never used to be exposed to homelessness.
And most of the time, it's not their own doing. It's circumstantial.
Whether it be domestic violence, whether it be resettlement due to political violence and lack of safety overseas, whether it be the results of colonialism with regards to Indigenous populations and dispossession, or whether it be the ravages of poverty.
A loss of stability in your housing or your attachment to place happens to people who don't see it coming.
The high costs of housing in Australia, including rental accommodation proportion to income, means that the average household is only 3 packets away from becoming homeless.
The uncertainty of not knowing, where am I going? Where are we going to wind up? The kids ask a lot of questions. Are we moving again, Mum? I decide to tell them how it is. This is just for now.
We were in a very unsafe environment.
My son, I had to think of him and his safety first.
For a 4-year-old to try and protect his mother, it breaks your heart.
I decided that being homeless was better than us being in a violent situation. And I would rather my boys have to go toe-to-toe in a bed than have to fight their father.
I moved to Australia because of the war, because I lose many people from my family.
Got custody of my 3 granddaughters and their parents are around. They're still growing up too, I suppose. Young ones having babies with, you know, not realising what the responsibilities are. So it's just being me and the 3 girls, getting through life.
You had a lifetime ahead of you. You should have saved money. You should have been better off. I had all that.
Suddenly, everything goes wrong.
It's a family feud.
And we could not afford to rent. My husband, he nearly committed suicide.
We could only get houses that no one would rent. The rent was really high, I couldn't afford it. I wasn't working, so we ended up living with family, then friends, and then staying in places we didn't want, you know, where it was just overcrowding.
I'm in a 2-bedroom unit now. I don't even call home. It doesn't feel like home. My son was stressing because there was no football or no sporting or nothing. He was, because he's a rugby league fan, and gained more weight, slackened off from sport. I'm hoping I'll get a house with a yard so he can have his mates and head over and play football, because that's what we used to do over in Acacia Ridge.
In our country, if you are a man, you should build your own house.
My eldest son, he's the one to talk to us. Mom, don't worry. This is not the end.
As soon as I got the call, oh, we've got a permanent house, I just said, I don't care what it looks like, where it is, I'm taking it. I just wanted to give my kids a bit of stability.
You're talking to an Aboriginal person back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Just surviving, that's what we wanted.
Nobody wants to be homeless.
People in the neighbourhood didn't know Kyabra, didn't have an open line of communication. If the lines of communication were more open, more safety and security would come from this for people who are fearful.
Cobra is a non-government organisation and we work across teams to support the needs of family. So one team never works alone.
We ended up with a multitude of services, and we certainly didn't focus on one service stream, which a lot of organisations do.
One of our programs is to support families who are homeless into a transitional or crisis accommodation.
And then they also have a program that's about sustaining people's tenancies.
And just how many doors really open, because that Kyabra do open for you. They don't just give you a house like some places. They don't just give you like food assistance like some places.
We also support families around a whole range of issues that are of concern to them. This might include issues around domestic violence, concerns around the hopes for their children, concerns around reconnecting with notions of identity and place.
They provided us a house. I feel that house is like my house because before I was not even grow up anything.
Welcome to my family's garden. We plant pineapples, sugar canes, and we also plant some corn and some African veggies.
We were so happy with their help.
I thought that I might have been a special case, but like they're just helping everybody. They're wonderful.
They really sped things up with the Housing Commission, because sometimes you've got to wait about 3 or more years, something like that, before you get a house with them. And because of Kyabra, I got one in about 1.5 years.
If it wasn't for Kyabra, I'd still be waiting for a house.
What a nice feeling, just like I win a lotto. Nice feeling that we got already our house that you call home.
Belonging means everything to me now. The kids, the way they cuddle you.
I know I belong to this country. I don't own this country, but I know I belong to this country.
I guess it gives me a warm feeling inside. It's something that we all deserve as human beings, to belong somewhere.
My place, that means it will be our place between me and my family. All of us, we can feel happy.
My place, just heaven. Like a heaven, my place, because that's yours already. You know, just like that, and then no need to think.
I could really put my feet on the ground, my roots into that place, and it would belong to me and my family.
The sanctuary thing is what comes to mind for me, is having a place to retreat from what can be a very harsh world.
Watching my kids educate. Watching my oldest son dressed up in his Navy uniform. Watching Ida looking at the kids, being a proud mother. It's all happiness for us now. All happiness.
Being homeless is not having a family. That's what it means to me. Because we never homeless. We always got family around.
Keep trying hard as you can, you know, don't give up.
Be honest to the people you speak to. Show your emotion.
That if one door closes on you, doesn't mean the next door's not going to open. Because that was one of my big worries.
There's going to be a sense of a crunch time about this. quite a lot of pressure on this time of your life. Try and get settled quickly so you can get ready for the next phase of your life.
Don't give up, just think positive.
Fight. Fight.
I really enjoy my work and love coming to work.
How can I assist someone today? That's probably what motivates the beginning of my day, each day.
All the time when I wake up morning, I pray, my God.
I don't look too far in the future.
Often see the glass as half full rather than half empty, and that out of anything negative, there is usually something positive.
How can I get a little bit more fun tomorrow? I often think about that at the end of the day.
My dream now is to keep learning within a social work context and keep working for as long as I physically can.
I hope that I will be a teacher because I really like teaching.
For all cultures, for everybody to get on in life.
I wish that I could wait my kids to grow up. I wish that everybody, not only me, all the people, same with us, homeless before, they get on their feet. I hope that all people, homeless, all people that they got nothing, and one day they have everything.
To own my own home.